Hello, everyone. Today is kind of a challenge. The Swan Princess by Michael Wrubel. It's not his first painting we're doing. Previous one also a challenge. But today we're combining it with a palette knife experiment. So I kind of got out all palette knives I have, and finally, then I will experiment and answer to myself personally which one I prefer, for which strokes, for which directions, and so on. So kind of trying to, experiment in this area. But of course, I'll be helping myself with brush. So it's not that, if palette knife, only palette knife. And okay, we'll go into the colors later. So here I have like a black and white print, just because at home I have only black and white printer. But of course, one can find a colorful reproduction internet, and basically there are like bluish grayish colors. But we will check about it a bit later. Yeah, and of course, very nice if you get like just download from Wikipedia, and you can zoom in and all those like strokes and amazingly big eyes of the princess. Yeah, I'll tell you the story about the painter and the painting as we go. Yeah, but let's start with a sketch. All right, I think we can go with all these, like big shapes of wings. And those can be pretty much abstract, as we also work with palette knife. But then, of course, it would be nice to keep a bit more detailed the part of the face. So kind of it's interesting, abstract and detailed. Okay, I'm starting, let's say here I have a big part. Yeah, so the wing is going, and then it's going like all those main diagonals, like placing first. Yeah, then can check, for example, as usual, our system. So checking which line where lies horizontally, vertically, according to the page in itself or according to something. So like this big wing is kind of in the middle of the head and face, almost the middle of the page. So this also is like just helps us. And as you practice, you can spot those things like already with your eyes, but it's also totally normal just to grab your pencil or brush and just, pull this line and have it done it more clear. And yes, and of course, the biggest part of painting will be all those wings that we're gonna try to make creative, interesting, moving. Yeah, so here also you can already start noticing a bit the direction of the strokes. So here, of course, they kind of help to speak it up where, of this movement. And also incredible when you zoom in this painting, that in originally its size is around 1 meter to 1.5 meters. In inches, I think it's like 56 to 36. And then you can spot all those details, like these silver ones in the back, and of course the crown. Very impressive. But still pretty much sketchy, because of course our aim is not to make one-to-one copy of Wrubel masterpiece. Yeah, we are here more to experiment and but of course, this piece is great inspiration. And what's the story about this painting? So he did this painting and other sketches for an opera decorations. So if starting from the start, there is a Russian writer. So from around in 1830 something, he had like a fairy tale written. That is fairy tale for children, but very nicely made as a cartoon movie. And when I was little, I was actually watching it. And then it was also so they made an opera similar to this story. And then Wrubel, the painter, he was this creative part of decorations and costumes. And so this lady here in particular was also his wife. She was an opera singer. And then, of course, and she was his like all lifelong muse and inspiration. And you can see her faces in many of his paintings. All right, talking too much. Now let's concentrate to the face. Maybe I'll put just also my phone and just zoom it in a bit. So also, if you're not pro in doing faces, just kind of what you should try to concentrate, just main lines. So let's say, of course, these cheeks and how it's going under the lips. Then try to find, let's say, where the crown is ending. Yeah, and then, of course, the position of the eyes. Yeah, the eyes are like on purpose, they're made bigger. But also maybe don't rush doing all those details of eyes and everything. Yeah, I don't know if with me it happens all the time. You know, you kind of start, yeah, like the wish getting into the details, but and what else is useful is also marking like dark areas. So you say, okay, here are the hair, I mark it, and also here very beautifully the hair going like through this clothing part. So I can also kind of just and okay, I'm here with markers, so pretty much can't erase. Yeah, but you feel free to take a bit more time for the face. And let's say just again, this is our typical technique of halfway closing eyes, and then you kind of can spot where is the main light areas on the face. And then you can actually see that here on the end of the cheek is the light, so you can also mark it for yourself. And then I will just take a pencil. Yeah, and then let's say I can say, okay, here is all my shadow area, and here where the eyes are more shadowish. So just with those bigger, creating those shadows at once will help to have this correct. And then of course under the nose is always typical, but then of course the shadow is on more to the left side, so the right side is so the light coming is from the right side, and kind of just mainly and then okay, the crown can go also sketchy, just for example all this part on top. I'm not even kind of worrying if the shape is correct, maybe just kind of marking some elements that actually very nice, beautifully green there. these greenish stones that can be nice accents that we do. Then, of course, also is like you can contemplate the composition. So, yes, here the horizontal line where the sea is ending, the sky starting. It's going almost like right into the eye. Yeah, so this is, of course, something that artist is using on purpose. On my drawing, I will skip this part at the corner. Here it's in color, it is kind of brownish with orangey. I think it's island with a city, because due to the story of this fairy tale, yeah, I can tell you as we continue about the story. So it's kind of the city, on the island, and she's being the swan that later, when all the bad things ended, she converts into the princess, of course. And, yeah. So yeah, and then okay, more or less done with the main part of wings, the face. Okay, we can also like make it a bit more precise as we go. Here also a bit hair, yeah, and here actually also the hand. But this could be maybe also skipping. And some just check your wings, maybe some a bit more details, a bit more lines that will help you to work later with the palette knife to create. One more or less. Sketch the sketch. So, yeah, no rush. Take time to finish sketch. I will just kind of put out some colors that I'm planning to use. So, of course, let's say silver, and again, one of those, his favorite Wedgwood color that I'm definitely later going for the second tube when it's over. You know, you kind of, in time, you get those colors that become your favorite ones. Yeah, a bit this dark blue for the sea part. The sky there is a bit kind of brownish. So actually we can later decide which color for the sky we want. Maybe also lighter one. Okay, then I have Payne's gray or black also works. But in this case, I think Payne's gray could work nicely because we all like, it's all generally grayish blue.
I'm going to pop off and get some colours in a minute because there are some things I want that are.
Yep, yeah, sure.
You can keep going.
No, I mean, I can wait. It's no worries. Okay, so these colors are for the main part, and then actually, so I have here ochre, gold, and actually a bit of Naples yellow or something like pinkish. Because now I've started to see reflection of some pinky parts. That's actually cool. Yeah. Yes.
Sorry about that. Which was one of my favorites as well, but you can see how much I use it.
Exactly. That's a good sign. So, okay, all this grayish bluish for main part. Then I have ochre, gold, pinkish for a little bit the part of the face and the crown. And then I have like greenish turquoise for so this accents on the crown, and we'll see, maybe somewhere else we want to do their accents. And then also like, yeah, so all these wings, they actually have a little bit of pinkish, so it feels as if like somewhere here next to the painting there is maybe sunset, and it all reflects, because of course we can see the mood is evening night, but there are some very nice light parts. All righty, so this was more or less paints. Okay, what could be the plan? How to start working with this complicated painting? Please, it looks like this. Start. My idea or proposal would be that, of course, we create a base layer, let's say for the wings. Yeah, so I suggest we start with the wings, because then later, like, if this is done, then the rest is should be easier. So, for example, I would, among all these different grays we have here, I suggest kind of pick up one neutral middle gray that would be maybe something close to this one, and then apply it with more or less transparent layers, a bit more water, and then on top we're going to build somewhere white strokes, and somewhere we're going to be building those darker gray strokes, and somewhere a little bit this pinkish. And those strokes then we do with palette knives, yeah, somewhere here a bit bluish and so on. Yeah, so I think this could be no idea how Vrubel worked himself. All I know that he in generally was like very passionate painter. He could work like 14 hours a day, lots of days non-stop. So, but also as many of artists, he wasn't appreciated during his time, yeah, and society couldn't really understand and kind of accept a little bit, yeah, this symbolism and extravagant art, yeah, especially in those demon paintings. So, but so it was okay, but also okay, then I put like one gray half, and then I maybe put silver straight away. Yeah, you never know which one you want to grab. I'll put also, okay, white. Have it already. Maybe also a bit of this. Okay, this bluish, I think I'll go for the sea. Yeah. Cool. And okay, and Payne's gray. Up. But first I take the brush and just do this base grayish layer, because then it's also kind of already feels not so scary. The page is white and so on. So of course, if you don't have this grayish color, then you kind of need to go extra mile and mix it, either say again, or black with white, and could be a bit of blue or Payne's gray. Yeah, so the aim is some grayish. Yeah, and okay, here maybe even it's a little bit too dark. Yeah, and another thing making it so I've put it now, and now I see, I need to make it really more watery, because then otherwise I can't see all my those pencil lines I did. So, and of course I don't want to lose them. I need them. And of course, maybe like the paper towel works. And yeah, let's say if you see somewhere like, okay, there are definitely going to be some white part, then of course, like you can, if it's a big one, you can just go around. But I did it mainly with here at the border. Yeah, so see, nice. Almost all the painting is kind of already. Yeah, and then we say, okay, then I have just C part left, and it's already not that scary. Okay, so here I have silver. Then I can also maybe just go directly in this area where it has all those of these silver decorations. And okay, that's it. And I'm thinking. Or I think I will go and do, since it's not too much, I'll do also a bit of the water, and yeah, this dark blue, because then when I go with my palette knife, then I can kind of go on top, yeah, and this area will stay underneath, yeah. And okay, so then we can try. So I'm mixing here my blue with a bit of Payne's gray, so then it's more and then and here I use pretty much dry brush, so just maybe it's already in parallel can give me some strokes that looks a bit like water. Yeah, so checking where we have water here at the corner below, then we have it also here on the right side. And then we have a bit lighter. Yeah, so this is also a thing that maybe I can take to mix it a bit with grayish. And then the water on top next to the horizon is much lighter. I think it's even lighter, but of course one can recorrect it also. Yeah, so in verbal art, what you can notice, he used his strokes. They remind a little bit these mosaic shapes. So as you can, for example, recognize Van Gogh for his these a bit longer strokes. So and here he took it like just he didn't invent it. It's all I mean comes in his artist evolution, his path. So in his early artist stages, he went and he spent 5 years in Ukraine, in Kiev, kind of reconstructing all the inside walls for of one church. And so imagine there was already like mosaic as technique in itself made, but it was, let's say, all it needed reconstruction. So he actually was, so instead of putting a piece of mosaic in there, he was just painting it. So then from far away, it looks, okay, everything is in its place. So like this, he kind of, he took this to his paintings. And okay, I'm not sure about my sky, but I want to put just something there so kind of doesn't look. I'll put something also watery, so then I can go behind the crown. Then later I can still go like golden strokes down. Yeah, but very detailed, like, yeah, no idea how he was painting, very hardworking. Thinking, okay, I'll take this turquoise because I still have a feeling to make it a bit more, yeah, sunshiny. So I'll just make a bit of turquoise into this blue I already have. Let's see what happens. But then I still just want it to be a bit more grayish. And then watery. Okay, nice. Yeah, so maybe it could be even more transparent. Let's see if I'm quick enough, I can. Yeah, acrylic's drying too fast. Yeah, but here with the crown, I went just over. So later when it's dry, I'm gonna do the golden parts. All right, need to start doing my palette knives, otherwise all painted already. Thinking. Whether to start with light or with shadows. And something tells me I'd prefer to start with main shadows. Because then, yeah, the whites will go the last ones on top. So the aim now is to create darker gray than the one we were using now. And I will go with, so I'm looking now forward to do this main shadow behind this, yeah, so we have this wing part, yeah, and it really feels that, of course, it's a part, it's exactly because of all this shadow here. So if I create it here and also here inside, and this everything should take a bit more shapy feeling.
Okay.
And of course, for palette knife, one needs to mix a bit more paint. Very dark. Okay. Okay, and I still have, so I mixed it also, yeah, experience them. I didn't mix it well, so I had my black with gray, and now I have like really just black areas with pure black paint, yeah. So the lesson is, I mean, sometimes it's actually cool, exactly by like grabbing with palette knife two colors and not mixing them on palette knife, but mixing them on straight away on paper, and then, yeah, but it wasn't this moment's purpose. No? Yeah, and then again, using, so let's say when I first grab my palette knife with paint, then I should always go to areas that are the darkest. And then later, when I already feel, okay, I have less paint on my palette knife, then I can go to others. Yeah, so then I can also have these differences. Here. Okay, I will try to work also a little bit here on the wings. Let's see, but it's too darker. I need to make a second gray that is less dark. Okay, a bit here. So sometimes you can also sit a bit of your paint from brush to your palette knife. Yeah, so if you don't have too much paint mixed, it's kind of hard to grab it with palette knife, but then you can just kind of put it with your brush on palette knife. because still doing those strokes with palette knife is different. Yeah, but Aaron is cutting something.
I'm not.
I heard you.
I'm not. I'm just getting myself covered in paint, as usual.
I see, I see.
I'm miles behind you.
Okay, so here, of course, it's very important already. Like, so I had my base layer, now I'm doing strokes, and with strokes is important the direction. So of course,
Sorry, my paint's being rude.
your paints are talking.
Yeah, they are.
It's actually a cool way to clean the brush. Yeah, to put that name there, and of course the thing is also like trying to mix very different grays, and because now, for example, it will start looking the same. So in some moment I should you should change it a bit from like just to add a bit something, maybe a bit. Here I start seeing already not so gray, more brownish, of course, and yeah, complicated. Okay, this part maybe I will leave now. It's too complicated. I will come back a little bit for the main shadow that is here on the right side. So here still we have a bit. Okay, and I was promising to change a bit the palette knives that I'm forgetting to do. So let's change maybe this one. Works. Okay, now for example, this one is also easier to pick up the paint when it's not so much paint. And okay. What happens? So sometimes what I do, I also dip my palette knife into the water bucket, and then it's kind of gives me the second stroke, even if it felt the paint is over there. Ooh, now I know what we're gonna be doing. We're also gonna be then adding a bit of like directly white. Yeah, so here first I put the dark gray, but then I grabbed a bit watery white right on top, and that nicely changed everything. But let's continue with finishing all these dark areas. Okay. More. Okay, now I will experiment the difference between, so two palette knives, and one is totally it's like straight, and the one is like with one step. And somehow, by the feeling, I was just always taking the one with this step. So let's try if there is like a bigger difference with this other one. Oh, this one feels actually flexible, more nice. Interesting. I was thinking this one with the step would give me a bit more flexibility, but actually this one is yeah. Okay, maybe I'm also not doing good job in explaining, but it's really like it should grab the palette knife and feel if it's which one is. Yeah, this is definitely becoming one of my favorites. All right, something starts appearing. And of course, the best part of palette knives that they're very easy to clean. Just wipe, and that's it. Yes, and of course, doing also all these parts, one needs go and like come back to the feeling of the whole of the paintings. Yeah, so it's usually the details, but then we take a look and say, okay, does the shadows look together? Is some area too light, too dark? Something is jumping out. Something is not. Yeah. And yeah, so it's like shadows inside the shadows. So of course, when we go to the details, we see that okay, this part is lighter than this main shadow. But if we think about it as a whole, also this part is the shadow, and it should be darker than, let's say, the light of the wings. Yeah, so then we go back and the whole this area here behind, like under this wing. Anyway, we do grayish. Yes, and no worries if some areas like you say, no, they're too darker. Like we can later also lighten up. Yeah, as I said. So you put this color, but then later you go with this watery white on top, in those areas that are needed to be lightened up, and it's changes the tone. Yeah. So again, where our main light would be is here. Yeah, where the hand is on the star, then on the wing. And yeah, the rest ones should be like less bright. And okay, let's do a bit more strokes also here. Yeah, and then try also feeling like yeah, a bit with watery palette knife one can also work. Yeah, just kind of, I have my paint, then I just dip palette knife into the bucket with water, and then and definitely the biggest secret works here is that if you manage some area like nicely, I mean, it's like you get a nice accident, because this is what palette knife usually does. Then of course we keep it and we save it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then of course one can take a break, and if it's too much palette knife, one can go and do a bit of brush things. Why not? Yeah, but somehow always it feels like palette knife, you get the brush and it's like, what happens with the strokes? Why they're so boring? Yeah.
I think I found my home. I like using palette knife, but I like it.
Yay. This is such a valuable thing when one says, yes, this is something, you know, that speaks to me. Yeah, and of course here I think one can play like really a lot with tonality. Yeah, how light, how dark is this part, is this, and so on. And yeah, and what I also like to do is, so let's say in some area I had like strokes of acrylics, but then once they're dry, I go just with the watery color around them, but like around and also like touching them, and it feels the space. Yeah, so then my space doesn't feel already so apart. Let's say now here, this wing here. Yeah, but then so I already did it a while ago. I'm sure it's dry. And then I take some, a bit lighter. Yeah, and then I just kind of go and make them a bit more together. Yeah, and I definitely don't lose like one can say, oh, but all my details I did there, they're going away. But yeah, I'm bringing this, that it feels like a whole, yeah, like one big wing. And I must say, surprisingly, I like how it's turning out. All right. Maybe I will go and do a bit of face challenge. So I'll let all my grayish things rest. We will come back to recheck, and then definitely also the white accents. Easier done than said. You say I'm going there, but always get stuck in some details you wanna correct. All right. Yeah, then I go in my usual way. I'm putting, I will put some base color, and that will be some pale peachy, something like this. Let's turn a bit to the clean side of palette. So I'm putting my no, it's over. I'll put here gold. And I'm gonna put down ochre. Okay, the white I still have. Okay, the pinkish actually will go a bit more later with those touch-ups together with white. Then I'll take a small brush. It's not just white with ochre. Yeah, and of course more white, tiny bit of ochre, mixing. Okay, trying to get this something. Yeah, and then just okay, and a bit grayish. Otherwise, it looks a bit too shiny. Also brown. Actually, I'm not using brown. I don't know why. Somewhere it ran away, but maybe also not too good not to mix too much and stay a bit in this grayish. Okay, I'm coloring probably on your side. It's not much visible, but it is on mine. And of course, it's also like we said, okay, we're gonna mark these light areas on the face. So this one also could do. And for example, I would just sit white paint here, and then I'll go with this light sienna thing, and then I'll also do okay, and then I can also go where the crown is. Story with the crown. Yeah, just something ochreish and gold. And here we have a part of the crown that is covered under this white, clothes. And it's actually also, it made me to think that could be a good task, you know, when you, typical is like you draw a chair, but then the next step you put this some like transparent cloth on it, and then you try to paint this cloth on top of the chair, so then it's kind of the chair is visible and the cloth, so just like dressing up. And yeah, could be challenging. Okay, I'm getting into gold splashes here. So if I make my thing shine. Of course, definitely not even close to the level of referral. It's detailed as there. But the feeling, yeah, should then like at least create this interesting feeling. Ooh, and you zoom in the hair, for example, also like this side, the hair are pretty much gray, like this beautiful gray we are using, this bluish. And it's even, the hair are even darker than the sea here. So here I will lighten up a bit the part of the and the eyes. Ooh. Eyes of okay, just let's try to do the blue. And then yeah, so what I did, I have put just like huge blue spots there, but now I'm doing also around the dark parts for eyebrows and dark parts for the under eyes and not easy. Okay, if the face will turn out really badly, then we will need to make some plan to just kind of, I mean, because it's always better not painted than painted, you know, like than painted bad or like, so, but it's worth at least try and fight and if you never try, how can you? Okay, where is my brown?
Don't you think it depends what you want out of your learning? Whether you want, if you want a nice painting, then yeah, I agree with you. Don't, you know, and you're not confident about doing the face, don't do it. But if you want to learn and get better, then you kind of have to have a crack at the face. And if it comes out badly, well, it just becomes another collage paper that you're going to rip up and use for something else.
Totally, Karen. Yes, definitely agree with you. Setting up, like, at least telling in your head what's my painting, and for today doesn't mean that it's gonna be forever, and I'm a person who is or who is not painting faces or something. Yeah. So, but if in general, let's say you say, okay, I'm not that confident doing faces, but generally I would, you know, like to have it better, then sure, you should use the opportunities when it comes, then, you know, to learn it. If you already did a lot and you said, nah, face is not my thing, I'm gonna be like many artists. You can also like Friedrich, you know, he's really famous, or also his symbolism in his art that we actually also do. Remember when I was offering, when last time I think we did the gate, among the offerings there it was one Friedrich's painting, and I really like his symbolism in his landscapes, and you know. So but what he did, he actually always painted people standing with the back, and like some people can say, okay, yeah, that's you can, like, whatever, either he couldn't paint them, so then he said just I'm just gonna skip this part. But he liked to put people in his paintings, but really just to know. And yeah, so it doesn't matter if, but, um, yeah, but also today I agree that maybe face is not the most important, and it's also not easy because it's small. You really need to get like into with a tiny brush, and yeah, to do all. There are lots of details, but the space is small, so kind of you need to simplify but still get the effect of, you know, nice face and so on. So maybe one could. Yeah, and then and here it's also this uniting thing. Also works, then like the shadow of the eye. Yeah. Yeah, and then let's say the crown. It also has then we've defined that the shadow is on the left side. So then here the crown also we go for some strokes, shadows here.
His shadows are really subtle, aren't they? It's really difficult.
Yes. Oh, no one said it's gonna be easy. Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely.
But we should do like one time challenge, one time.
Oh, absolutely. I don't. I'm not regretting saying, "Oh, let's do this." I'm just not sure what I'm going to end up with. You know, as I said just now, it's all a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days, I'm going to stick my paintbrush in my coffee.
But that's typical. It's like never leave your coffee or drinking or thing next to your painting because they're gonna get mixed and you're either gonna drink your painting water or you're gonna dip your brushes into your coffee. No?
I can't imagine ever drinking your painting water by mistake. They are in very different receptacles.
Yeah, then still again shadows. Let's say the shadow under the neck, also kind of essential. Yeah, so if like you still don't have it put it, and then you will already get a little bit like, ah, okay, yeah, getting in those volumes of the body. And then my palette knife experiment didn't went like that huge as I don't know, I thought. Maybe also because of the size. Yeah, if you take maybe a bigger size of paper or canvas. Yeah. Here I'm putting now emerald and green just to make a bit more already those happy accents. Yeah, but then clean brush well, wipe it so it's clean, yeah, and no grayish and
I feel a collage coming on.
like in which meaning?
In that this is so bad that it loves
I thought you're reaching the level of this mosaic technique of Rubel.
no. I am having fun though. Do you like it?
You know what? Also, we should experiment one day. I don't know if you've been hearing about like the artificial intelligence in art.
Yeah.
So I'm like just interested somehow implement it into the.
Yeah, somebody at work actually sent a link to one of these AI bot things, and we were playing with it a bit and sharing what we were playing with at work.
Yeah, so maybe like I don't know, we can set the topic and then just try to
See what happens.
see what happens.
All right.
But please just capture it before destroying.
All right.
All right, yes. That's a little time.
This is going to be very much a close-up, mind. I've mostly not finished yet. Not finished anything yet. Oh, how do I use my phone?
Okay, now I'm just kind of trying for the details and go back to like some to have the feeling. And no, not easy. This painting is too detailed to like.
Yeah, in an hour or 2 hours rather. It's
Oh, here I think one can spend huge amount of time.
and that's the other thing, isn't it? You know, we're spending an hour or a couple of hours, whereas you said, you know, he worked really, really hard and would have probably spent
Exactly.
days, weeks.
Yes. Yeah, so actually also the aim we're like the objectives we're putting in front of us, we should kind of define straight away, you know, just recreate maybe the feeling or recreate some part of painting and so on, so on. So
Yes. I'm just trying to do feathers.
so white ones.
All of it. Well, just kind of getting that feeling of featheriness in tones of greys and whites.
Okay, okay. Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna oh, Karen, send me some.
Oh yeah, so don't get too excited.
Wow. But like from, you know, from this capture, it looks not bad with all this texture. Yeah.
I do like texture when I'm painting.
Oh, definitely let it dry. I mean, hopefully
Yeah.
it will also not get too flat.
No, I've already realised that it's very easy to overwork it.
Yeah, one really like needs this either patience or wisdom of, you know,
Yeah.
stop and like move to some other area, but okay, I'm doing now like these white parts, but I find out that actually some like areas are not too dark enough to create this white effect. Yes, definitely just also more often looking on painting from far away, trying to kind of just have the feeling of the whole. Is this like these wings, this dress, this like having this holiness and discover what. Aha, maybe this tiny palette knife that is fishy will be better creating thin lines. Or maybe just a palette knife can do.
When I went and got the colours just now, I did also come back with some pencils because I thought probably do like things like the face and maybe want lots of fine detail. But
Yeah.
mine will not be dry enough to do that today. If I ever get that far.
Actually, it's a good plan to do instead of, yeah, because doing face with paints, oof, like this size, and but pencils could, yeah, could work nicely. Oof.
I think this is just an excuse for me to play with texture and paint. I'll send you another picture. I love playing.
Anyway, coming back to your favorites. Yeah?
It is a good way of getting kind of combined different tones really easily. Is working wet into wet with palette knife, isn't it?
Oh, one more from Karen. Oh. Yay! Impressive wing.
You can see I've really gone off piece now.
Are you painting also on the table? Your wing gonna be?
No, fortunately, I have a really big board that I'm working on. Yeah, otherwise I'd have paint all over the table.
Otherwise, it starts flying.
Yeah. Would you spend your Saturday evenings painting if you didn't do these classes?
No, that's why I'm doing these classes. Yes, I was thinking about it. Yeah, I would definitely do now lots of other stuff, but paint. What about you? How's your painting? I don't know.
No, I'm
Discipline.
doing hardly any at all. So I do these classes, and obviously I'm doing the printing as well at the moment, but that's about it. I'm not, occasionally I might think about drawing something, and then I don't do it.
Yes. I think it is really about like making this how you say arrangement where you feel kind of responsible to show up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I mean, probably those passionate artists, they don't have this issue because
Yeah.
painting is more important than anything else. And
I don't know. Maybe I'll wander around Crowdgy and talk to some of the artists and find out how difficult they find it. It's very beautiful. I really do feel you've got the feel of the painting.
Thank you. I'm not feeling convinced myself yet.
I feel she's quite watery.
Like she wear like the wings and
Yeah.
the movement. Does it feel the movement?
It's
No?
definitely got movement, which is more than I can say about mine. It's more like rock.
So your one is sculpture.
Mine is what?
Like a sculpture, like more.
Yes, set in stone. Are you still using a palette knife, or have you switched to brush?
Yeah, I'm already just kind of trying to figure out, shall I stop or should I just do a bit more of those
I think
details? But yeah.
if I were you, I would put more white into that tail.
Thank you. Yes.
Tail come train.
Yeah, yeah.
Some highlights.
Good one, good suggestion. Yeah, I should stop face because face is not gonna get better anyway. I mean, it's ridiculous to try paint face in this small conditions. Like
The crown is great though. Crown is really, really good.
yeah, you think something
Yeah.
like one can spot some. Yeah, let's go to the tail. If Karen says so, I can't. Okay, what was my aim? I have all my palette knives inside here. Which one would be the favorite?
Well, have you got one like this with the kind of slightly curved?
Oh, no, I don't
Because
have.
that kind of is quite a good shape.
Yay. Nice one. I didn't even kind of spot it in the shops. Cool. I should.
I bought it as a set.
Uh-huh. That's nice. But what definitely I don't wanna, then I need to mix maybe a bit more just light gray because I don't want to put too much white here on the tail. Like, so maybe not straight like white, like clean white.
Yeah, know what you mean.
Because otherwise it's gonna just
Hmm.
Okay, now I noticed I had my pink prepared for, because yeah, there are lots of, like, I think like these pinkish reflections, but I think they come good together if you use more like brownish.
Yeah.
But we've used lots of like blue instead. So yeah. Not very well. Yeah, okay, I think I should just stop. It's not really making any movements or something.
I've added some of the neutral grey into the sky because the neutral grey is that slightly browny grey, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you talked about sky, made me think that yeah, I'm gonna go also for a bit more cloudy gray for my sky. This happy happy sky somehow doesn't. When you work, do you have like usually dozens of brushes used at the same time? Or
I very, very rarely use brushes.
yes.
I
Okay.
use credit cards a lot,
Hmm,
and I use palette knives occasionally. I use
yeah,
my hands quite a lot, and I
hmm,
use sponges and things like that as well.
nice. So, but still, like in parallel, you have like lots of messy stuff. Like maybe you can have like 15, 20, and then you clean them all or something.
Oh, um, I'm sorry, I'm with you. Yes, yes. No, actually, I probably don't use that many different things. I tend to, because I know that acrylic has a lot of plastic in it, so I try not to clean them with water.
Uh-huh.
I tend to wipe on things when I say clean them with water, because once you've cleaned them with water, the
Yeah.
plastic in the water is going to go down the sink and then therefore out into the sea. Um, so I always
Wipe.
wipe,
Nice.
and then once it's wiped, there's not that much paint left in it to
No, of course.
give a quick rinse to whatever it is I'm using. So like today when I've been using palette knives, I'm just when I want to change colour, I just wipe them on my bit of tissue.
Yeah.
And that's, as you said earlier, it's so much easier to clean them than it is to clean brushes.
Yes, of course. Makes sense.
Oh,
So
here comes the cat.
yeah.
I'm going to feed him actually, because otherwise he's going to be up here on this very, very wet paint.
Yeah, I've noticed I've forgotten this very beautiful detail of the hair inside the cloth.
Well, it's interesting from a distance, mine.
I have no doubt. I think this is can bring you to like thoughts of some other, artwork to do. So I think it's time to wrap up. No more.
I think I've wrapped.
Okay, whatever. Taking the tape off. Right. Well, of course, Rubles is more magical and my one is more blue. That's the only thing.
I like the way you've done the hair. Did you add that in after? That was the last thing you did, wasn't it?
I've noticed I forgot it but I really like this, this
Yeah.
of hair passing through, and of course they cold, but nice. Now actually it's this connection with the sea, and it's like wings and waves at the same time. She's going into the ocean, and because she's a swan.
She is a swan.
Well,
And
nice
there is,
experiment.
what do you like about it?
I think in the end, those is usually some parts, like some happy moments of palette knife that you don't control, but you end up having them. Yeah, so maybe some area here, maybe of the tail, a bit here, something, but not happy with a bit too bluish, but okay. Yeah, let's make it a sunshine day. Yeah, face and crown, okay. The best I could do, but in the end, it's okay. I call it pass.
Good. I call mine definitely fail. I ain't showing you.
Please.
What, really? I won't post it. I will just give you a quick flash.
All right. Well, I mean, I just call it unfinished. Because okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm honest, I can't see it in detail. Yeah, it's too small the screen, but come on, it can be some interesting shapes.
There are interesting shapes and there are interesting textures, and I played with a palette knife and I did different things with the palette knife than I've done before. I quite like my bit of sky that I've done. But yeah, this one's definitely consigned to the bin.
Or to the bin for the collage paper, of course.
Collage paper, absolutely.
Nice one. Well, thank you, Karen. If you wouldn't be here, I would be lazy doing something else.
Me too.
So good.
Good use of an afternoon.
For company, and yeah, we are one step like improving our art skills.
Absolutely. And I'm doing, the thing about it is, the reason I like meeting with you on a Saturday afternoon is that I do things that I would not otherwise do. And if they come out crap, well, they come out crap, but I've tried something different.
But yesterday's week was awesome, your ones.
Thank you. And sometimes they come out okay. I'm not sure I'd go as far as saying awesome, but sometimes they come out okay. But and you know, I can see with like last week how much I've learned, you know, in the last year, and how much my work's improved in the last year.
Wow, that's a nice one. When one can like, yeah, I mean, I can't say this like this about myself, like, but maybe I don't know. When is the moment when it comes, you can feel it. Or...
The thing is, you're already a very talented artist, so.
But yeah, I don't.
You don't
I'm good in copying, but I still need to figure out this.
But that's not. Oh, I was going to say you were copying a photograph, weren't you? I was going to say you when you did the person who was kite surfing. That was your, you know, that you weren't copying a painting then. Oh, here he comes.
Hello.
Just what you want to see is me cat's ass. You stopped recording.
No, I didn't.
I assume you do a bit of editing anyway. Hello. Hello there.
Hello, cutie.
Oh, when his tail's going in the brush pot.
He wants to be the part of the painting.
Yeah, he does. This is what he does when I'm trying to work, when I'm working from home. He just kind of comes and sits on my keyboard.
Yes, because it's logically he needs more attention than the keyboard.
Yeah, he does.
His current keyboard is boring. Play with me.
Yeah, I'm being boring, aren't I, boy? Off you go.
Nice one. Well, okay, Karen, then we meet next time and see which skills we can improve.
Well, let's do another, what did we do last week? My brain's gone.
Last week we did his garden in palette knives.
Yeah. Tell you what, let's do some oil pastels next time.
Yes, definitely. Okay, awesome. All pastel, and we talk about the topic.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
All right. I shall see you next week.
See you next week, Karen. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.